News, views, and entertainment. Stay tuned to Society for Radio Democracy. 98.1, simply the best.
Radio Democracy, the true voice of the people.
For news, views, and entertainment, stay tuned to Society for Radio Democracy. 98.1, simply the best.
Englandville studio. Good morning and welcome to the second edition of the program Good Morning Salone for this week, where they come to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Today na Tuesday, May 7, 2019. We where they bring this edition come to you this Tuesday morning. Mina Elizabeth Campbell.
And Mina Mabel Kaba, good morning. Inside this edition of the program Good Morning Salone, the chairman for the Presidential Infrastructure Initiative in the State House, Dr. John Tambe, don say, by the end of 2020, government go begin the projects for build the University of Science and Technology in Akono. One lecturer at the Political Science Department at Afrobe College, Emmanuel Gaima, don say, for promote national cohesion at the country, government for develop national cohesion policy where it say go guide new governments and about how them for take up office from past administration. And today inside the program, Radio Democracy go talk to the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Dr. Mornin Salone, where they can talk about three policy them where the ministry don't develop for improve the mining sector.
Well, this and plenty other story them day inside the program, plus the district medical officer and the Kenema district health management team, Dr. Donald S. Grant, don't say they go use the hospital where Honorable Alusain Kane of constituency 13 and partner them don't build na Mano Chiefdom Kenema district for the disease surveillance between Salone and Liberia. Now that part stay in the country and work about safe day inside the program for you. Members say you the listen we live on www.radiodemocracy.sl courtesy of Osiwa and powered by Africell. The program na Good Morning Salone. You can send your message on the number 077-981-981. 077-981-981. Add your voice to the issues that we discuss now the program, or you go watch we live on We Radio Democracy Facebook page. Well, inside the studio with we get the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, we na Dr. Mornin Salone. As he then so far can talk about the three policy them where the ministry don't develop for improve the mining sector in the country. Hello and welcome to the program.
Thank you.
We'll continue for the between at the studio.
Well, the first issue we look at inside the program this morning, we go to the Ministry of Education. Also, the Deputy Director for Public Relations, now the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Brian Michael Ture, say government and the West Africa Examination Council (WAEC) don't make extra provision for about 150,000 picking them. We get for take this year NPSC. We go be May 11. And it say this and for make picking them where they take the exam this year, no go get the challenge them where the other picking them don't they get inside the past year them. Let me listen to the interview where Elizabeth Campbell do with them.
NPSC examinations traditionally they take place first week in May, except otherwise, and the except otherwise happened this year because of the National Cleaning Day, where they happen on the 6th or the Saturday before the 11th. Then don't shift the examination to the 11th of May, when is Saturday. And the only reason why also Salone get the opportunity for do that now because the NPSC na a local examination, not so international. So as a country we can able shift them around, unlike the WAS examination when are international where they don't fix the date for all the countries that only participate. One country no way will change the time.
Almost speaking them we get for seats the 2019 NPSC exam.
Each Pekin where they take NPSC, where government they pay for. Government they pay 70,000 loans for that Pekin. 70,000 loans per candidate. So this year we get a little over 140,000 candidates. You know, we have to take the exam for this year 2019, a little over 140,000 candidates. But WAEC make provision for for 150,000, so 10,000 additional preparation just in case. Waiting can happen where Pekin and they just show up last minute for the examination, where they don't enter the names for the exam at all. Because of that understanding what on the between we and YX, they can make provision so that the way will accommodate them Pekin and
Is it that because of the free quality education, they make extra provision for picking them wiggle since they could get for coming late or something?
Every year YX can make provision for additional numbers just in case. And so this year, not to any different. Only that the total number of candidates this year is higher than any other time, 140,000. And it centers them a little over 275 centers them, who side them again for seats, and the schools them a little over 3,000 schools them.
So in terms of preparation for them picking, they also forget material, for lab during the exam, they not get calls for challenge, forget enough material where the picking them will use. How ensure the ministry and WIAC don't work together for make sure they don't get any problem in the
WIAC make provision for additional 10,000 above the number we then get where government they pay for. They add 10,000 more, so they use their money for 10,000 more materials for in case 10,000 show up way not likely what happened. Apart from that, all the centers then are already identified. The examiners then, supervisors and everybody, they are all identified right now. They're ready and they wait. And WIAC also don't make sure say the monitors them. And don't get for monitor them. And they allow the Ministry of Education also get we all monitors them where we self get now we on site. And so now then two groups and they all they work hand in hand for make sure say properly supervise examination. And staff of the ministry also don't assign to centers where we self get for go around for watch and see what they happen for this examination.
So how in short the ministry and why could they for make sure say examination malpractice not take place during the course of the exam?
Well, you don't get 100% certainty about examination malpractice because while WIAC and the ministry they plan one thing for make sure they will reduce them or discourage them completely, the criminals they get then effort with they make for actually invade whatever they do. So they hope say with everything we don't put in place with the secret coding of the examination materials. This was here you hear all the cry all over the place say the people don't get access to the materials before the examination. And then the phrase say they will fail this year. Not to the intention of government for make people fail, not the intention of government for provide credible examination platform so that when we say that they will pass, we certain as a nation say that they pass and we will vet them any side. So while government get for spend all of this huge money for let them pick a seat, we want to also make sure say if now 140,000%, if now 20,000 they pass, low we proud as a nation, so we get 20,000 who can put hand and say that's why we guarantee them. But look at the recklessness of some heads of schools. Just now I even talked to the head of national office now. He tell me say a headmaster, an examination will take place on the 11th. Now today he show up with the entries last minute.
So what you know I can do for them kind of people?
Now then same kind reasons shall make why they get extra materials, 10,000 extra for them same kind reckless people where they wait till last minute like so. So now then kind problem share why I can face also where people don't understand so they all later on say oh why this why that. Now for them kind thing.
Right. What's the advice you give to picking them we get for take this the MPSC national exam?
The advice go to both the picking and the parents them. The beginning for understand say when a government knock chest and pay for you for take an examination or provide free quality education for you for value. So the parents then we always get that careless talk say anything about government they pay not to be business. You not the first beneficiary if that picking they better. So business entirely. Government just they help you for let you picking grow and develop. Not a government entire responsibility for supervise you picking a host. Now you the parents your responsibility. And above and beyond, the 11th, now the school said not a picnic day. We don't want to see parents them go there for go dance gumbe or beat bata.
Well, that's now the Deputy Director and Public Relations Officer at the Ministry of Basic and Senior Secondary Education, Brema Michael Toure, been talking about that interview with Elizabeth Campbell.
The program where you listen to na Good Morning Salone and it come to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. As we been all introduced with guests to Una we na the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Dr. Mornin Salone, and this na the first time for we get at the studio. Doctor, na a pleasure for getting at the studio today.
Thank you.
All right, before we come to you, make we just give brief background, but the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources na Salone responsible for the management of mineral in accordance to the Mines and Minerals Act of 2009. Thing we get for do with industrial mining, exploration and large-scale mining. Well, as the Minister then I also for talk on the 3 mineral sector policy where they talk about geodata management policy of Salone, the Salone mineral policy, and the artisanal mining policy for Salone. But before we start for talk about sensory policy, they also way the government don't develop. Tell we, Minister, waiting more about the Ministry of Mines and Mineral Resources than work so far where you don't be minister there.
Well, thank you for we wanna accept me here this morning. The Mines and Minerals Ministry, they in the spotlight right now because this ministry rarely for be revenue generating largely, and that now we focus because we need for improve the welfare of the nation. We need for improve the welfare of Sierra Leoneans, and we know say the mineral sector over the years don't provide a lot of revenue for development projects, for social welfare programs, for health programs, for education programs. But by the time we will come in as a new government, we've been get plenty challenges where we've been get for deal with. That's still not the case. We deal with the challenges where we meet. When I remember that there was a time where they described Sierra Leone as the fastest growing economy. That's in the mineral sector been the boom, African minerals been there, and production being high, the price of iron ore being high, so government been they get plenty money. That time they for do a lot of things. Whether the money we been they coming was well managed, that another story. But then we go also remember say with time the price of iron ore been dropped drastically, and that affects revenue where they come in. And of course there was a time where people they talk about the twin shocks, where one had been the drop in the cost of iron ore, and of course Ebola. So from the time where we don't come in, although generally the focus now on revenue generation, a lot of which will be done depend on damage control, and that don't take up quite a bit of the time where we done the in office. But with the things say with the three policies we launch on Thursday, the minerals policy, the artisanal mining policy, the geodata policy, that's going to change things. One of the things where we do, where we come in, was that we find out say plenty of the mining licenses where they give out need monitoring. What do you mean they happen was that people they come, then take license, but in fact they not get the wherewithal for do the mining. They take their license here and take and go look for investor. So buzzword na the ministry na investor. I get investor. Some of the investors here are not shadow investors. Because that not been the help revenue generation, we cancel over 40 licenses. And even for things say where you don't cancel posting license, if it be mean well, if the license be, if you they live up to the expectations, if you be meet the conditions where if you meet when they begin the license, you go protest, you go complain.
So panel 40 license here we say you cancel where you take over. In totality, where you come as Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, now how many mining agreements you meet where people don't get license for operate?
Oh, we can get maybe up to 1,000. different licenses, because we get different licenses. You get large scale, you get small scale, you get artisanal mining, you get all the one of them. But then one thing where we can, so the point where I want to make is that if them, if them they live up to whatever the conditions where them agree to, then them for protest.
So now waiting be they happen, we make you cancel and license in the.
But like I said, they're not being they perform, then they take the license, then they go for an investor.
Now people will be they do large scale mining, the license when they may get on artisanal mining.
Some not large scale, some not small scale, some not artisanal mining. You get exploration licenses as well. They've all been there. So the one that was cancelled, some include large scale, some include small scale, plenty in artisanal mining.
The issue we get for do with artisanal mining, now one way don't take long term way challenge be done the people don't they do artisanal mining at some districts them where they not be they get license for. Under your administration, now waiting you don't do so far for ensure say any artisanal miner forgets license for what they do.
Well, the artisanal mining sector really gets plenty problems, because if you take the Mines and Minerals Act as it exists, it requires artisanal miners not for use heavy machinery. It requires that, for dig more than 10 meters, the only machinery where you require or you need for use now, what they call Bailey machine, for take water out of the pits. But a lot of people have been they take artisanal mining, rarely been they do small scale mining. We mean to say if you do small scale mining, you can use heavy machinery like excavators and so on. Now, in the area of waiting we do or waiting we don't they do, perhaps when I go remember that in the early days where we just take over, we've been raid a place in Akono where we catch like 10 Chinese, 1 Turkish and some Sierra Leoneans. We've been the mine, 1, illegally, 2, illegally in the sense that they never ever produce any license, So we raid the place, we take them, we carry them to the police. In the end, deport the Chinese and the Turkish. But since that time, when I go, remember that a lot of other then kind raids been they go on. And when I go also remember that because of that, the president been called all the paramount chiefs and other stakeholders and say, look, artisanal mine, illicit mining, they destroy the economy. We now think say illicit mining will go on any chiefdom where the chief not aware. And as a government, we now want let anybody support illicit mining. In fact, up to this point where we did talk, some of the excavators where we've been seized, now the mining sites we catch the Chinese, they're still there.
Doctor.
And because of that, a lot of people been on the afraid now for the illicit mining.
Okay, registration are one big challenge where this artisanal mining don't they get. Waiting this new policy gets for this particular one for make sure say they run am properly with good regulation.
Well, one of the things where this new policy go to look at now, the kinds of people where they can apply for licenses. I think say we need for do due diligence. You actually qualify, you get what it take for mine, waiting at the rules where they mine, and waiting. Let me make it clear now say that in fact this is not the first time where this country they get artisanal mining license. And they use child labor. This policy go try control that. Woman them participation in artisanal mining. This policy they try to control that. Waiting how you go help woman them where one do or one take part in artisanal mining. Child labor, then small picking them where they come and get involved in mining. then they abuse them in so many ways, work long hours, pay them very little money and all of that. So this new policy, or this policy, because it's not new, not the first one, they look at all of the issues and look at ways for control them.
We they can go into the policy them proper one just now, but let's take you again to the issue we get for do with then big mining companies. Them at some point we see most of them they don't wrap up. So currently now almost big company then they do large scale mining where they operate in Salone.
We get Kwedu Limited, then they in Diamonds Nakono. We get Sierra Rutile, like it says Rutile, and they in Rutile, but they also they into Zircon. We get small minerals holding, which most people know as Vimetco, then they into mining. Then we get Maya, it's still an exploration stage, then but them big enough for like we call them large scale mining. Those are the ones we're active right now. You get SL mining, that gets in story. So insofar as large scale mining is concerned, these are the ones we do look at.
For let them come there keep to the corporate social responsibility, be don't they be challenging some communities them where community people be at times they protest say company they operate na so but we not get good road, we not get school and other facility them where can they inside and corporate social responsibility. Waiting your administration don't do so far for let the mining company them take care of the corporate social responsibility inside the way they operate.
Well, a good question. I make the point that we get what we call mining lease agreement. For each large-scale mining company, you get what you call lease agreement. In some cases, they vary. Even as we talk now, communities they complain. But then you need for look at the agreement where the mining company gets, where the mining company been done sign. In some cases, we say with the CC, then they violate within the agreement say. Where they bring them to book, we talk with them and we tell them say no, waiting you they do and all right. In some cases, and this is now one reason where we make them policies here. In some cases, waiting there in the agreement, they make them very difficult for the ministry for take action. Because if you take like Shandong, we don't stop for mine for the last nearly 2 years now. A day in the agreement say for a period of 2 years, given the problems we then get, they can stop mining. And because then Shandong na the actual name not Tonkolili iron ore, we all know what happened when Shandong stopped for mine. I mean, all them people will then lay off. Problems been there with how for pay benefits and how much for pay. We've been get that kind of problem there. But then, if you look at the agreement, they give them the window for stop for mine for that period. So we get that kind of problem, and we get illegal bottleneck. We've been we still get problems with SL mining, where that means, then get this problem, or we get this problem, we say Frank Timis somebody buy from Frank Timis being equipment, where he left na the site. Frank Timis been take loans from various banks. Now, able to pay the loans. The people then way buy from say the loans where Frank Timis take not to the Enticam. Okay, Frank Timis take not to the Enticam. So we get that kind of problem. We get that kind of legal bottlenecks. So we still get problem how for resolve that.
Doctor, just like we you say, we don't see instances like we you talk about Shandong. We don't see the mining company we've been doing hand over to Shandong, and the workman they will be there. They not be make proper arrangements for them as to how they will get their money, like where the end of service benefits, then thing. So we see a lot of challenges during the intending day. How you dey work in that direction for make sure say then kind issues and they not come up anytime if other company they can hand over to other company, then for make sure say they make serious arrangements for the workman them in that particular company there.
Well, some of the issues are labor issues, not to strictly mining issues. So waiting we've been done do now together with labor we've been done see waiting now the problems and we've been done able to overcome them. So the people that we Shandong or Tonkolile or before been done pay them. But like I say, a lot of those ones are labor issues, not so, although not miners, but not more labor than mining issues. I mean, you get work permits, you get residence permits, that not to Ministry of Mines business. But waiting have been your agreement with the employer, waiting have been your agreement with the employee, that not labor issue, that not labor been they deal with that largely.
All right, if you just tune in that voice, the way you be listening to so just now, the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Dr. Mornin Salone, there this morning, I can tell you about key policy them where the ministry don't develop for improve the mining sector in Salone. We will come back to the minister with the talk other issue inside the program. Also, the district medical officer for Kenema District Health Management Team, Dr. Donald S. Grant, don't say they go use the hospital facility where the member of parliament for constituency 13, Honorable Alusain Kane and in partner them from Norway don't bill for them na normal chiefdom na Kenema district for do disease surveillance between Salone and Liberia. Well, Dr. Donald S. Grant talk this, where the member of parliament together with him partner them and other governments workman them, Bingo Police Hospital na do. Osai, we reporter Musa S. Kamara Binde and Gona report.
Yes, well, I mean, those ones comes with the level of performance of the health facility, of which we believe this one will stand up to it. And so soon it will...
District Medical Officer for the Kenema District Health Management Team, Dr. Donald S. Grant, they show the work where different machine them they do at the normal hospital where the member of parliament for constituency 13 we cover normal and Tunkia chiefdom Kenema District where same way so na the SLPP deputy chief whip na parliament Honorable Alusain Kane and partner them bill for people na then two chiefdom ya.
Amid this hospital, this small tiny place they call health center, I said no, this is not all. I go for make sure say me people them what they represent. If I win symbol, that was 2012. I said no more, this is sorrowful. I don't come on Norway come, I can't meet. Would not get this kind of people, women they born, they die because even bed not for me the lumper.
Honorable Alusain Kane, they talk about the reason why he pick for Bill Hospital among the plenty need them where people at this community need. Also, he continue for talk about the amount of money where they use for these projects.
Even Connaught Hospital na free talk. No go bluff, no more farm and mini hospital. Because everything where there, what are they cuts na? What are they come 24/7 na? Light they go na ya, light they are 24/7. We own solar will bring and a very unique one. We won't say go bam, $1,000, so many dollars. Obam brand kanaya. The Norwegians they do it because they believe in humanity. They believe in delivering to the poor. And I believe in that too. They raise me up and I believe I have to deliver. And I can quite sure I have to deliver to the people of Norway. No, just the solar system we'll get. It was not less than $20,000. You see, it's 24/7. Yeah, the freezer, when I mobile freezer, buy it is cost thousands of dollars. You understand? You see the structure as a whole, in combination, totality, my brother. This hospital, I will go say, is about $300,000. Now, with very soon, we don't start the construction of the quarter. We don't start that one day. The quarter.
Waiting this mean for the health system na the Kenema district. Dr. Donald S. Grant, District Medical Officer.
Because this is now one of we health facilities, them peripheral health units, where they part of primary health care, now the district. You look at all the buildings, and they get so many other packages, not just one building. They get room for admit woman them, picking them, and belly woman them.
Dr. Grant continues say they go use this facility for no and tap sickness them between Salone and Liberia.
This is like crossing point, border. So once we get an established facility now, it's important that we get also effective surveillance. So if there is any outbreak now in not neighboring country, this facility is strategically located, they are able to pick up cases early, and then we activate we system for tackle the outbreak as early as possible.
John Enindis, na the Chief Executive Officer for the RR Plus Diaconal Foundation from Norway, as one of the people we help for build this hospital, it gets this for say.
Congratulations with this center. We hope that this will be of great help to the people. But no, take ownership, take responsibility, maintain the buildings, let them be painted when it's needed, keep it clean. Talk to the staff who are working here and support them, because they are here for you, not for anyone else. It's for you.
The people na Nomo and Tonkia Chiefdom Kenma district talk about what this hospital mean to them.
Like somebody been sick, you know, get time for care and go. Even if he come, who that get for take care of him, because even you know get time for sit down, not alone for let them treat them. So as for now, we don't get time for treat people, and we feel say this hospital where they don't build, they get for build something bigger, because they get a lot of opportunities.
We, the people of Nomo Chiefdom, but until you know, say we then at the boundary between Liberia and Sierra Leone, now the borderland, now they we dey. The area where they na that water side, they all the other villages where they around the Watana Liberia, where really penetrate to win and no more. Then all this hospital important today because now everybody then the cross for Ghana out and begin.
As Honorable Alusain Kane promised for build hospital and school quarter na the Nomo Chiefdom, the Paramount Chief for Nomo Chiefdom Patrick Kane Kaba encourage Honorable Kane and partner them for continued support to this chiefdom and save other chiefdom them na the constituency. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Musa S. Kamara.
Salone Commercial Bank don't come with new banking products them for make life easy. With Million Online Bank and Million Mobile App, you can able for use Salone Link money transfer for send money to anybody like you not get bank account. Transfer or receive money na the same bank or any other bank. Transfer money to person or office like you not get the account number. Buy Edsalight, pay other bill them, and now get advanced salary. You don't need for worry again, but almost money then you earn. Because you can able for pay for things the way you buy in a supermarket and other shop them with the quick response code payment. Yagbadon done for we boss man them. With Beyond Online Direct, you can upload salary, pay all you supplier them, sell forex to Salone Commercial Bank, and watch your account anytime. If you need the app, download them from Google Play Store or any Apple Store, or go to Salone Commercial Bank website www.slcb.com. Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, delivering value.
Commercial Bank. You an innovator, we want bring change. You get passion and zeal for do something. Anytime you there, we dey look for you because you time don't come.
Salone Cable Limited believe the Tkenkwe technology and innovation get for make business and economy grow and tinap Tkenga one for development we go come with money. And Salcap they launch for the first time, then Tech Startup Challenge. For you who want be part of this program, now for send you business idea and tin them you sabi make for tap the problem them inside book learning, well body business, agriculture and energy. Send your application to startup at salcap.sl.
And member say May 15 na the deadline for all application.
For no more, call 079 923 524. The number again is 079 923 524. Salcap, connecting innovators to endless opportunities.
The program where you dey listen to na Good Morning Salone, and it come to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We will bring this edition of the program come to you this morning. Mina Elizabeth Campbell
and Mabel Kaba.
We dey continue for talk to the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, when Dr. Mori Manye. And now we dey go for talk about the minerals them in the country. Doctor, we know so we get different minerals them in the country. Which one are the main one where they help boost the country economy?
Well, they help boost the country economy. There was a time where diamonds not been the big thing. And then we all know, as with Shandong, iron ore. Then you get bauxite. Now the three one. Then that lately now we did get some pressure on the mining of coltan, because coltan cost of coltan in the world markets don't go up. And it's easy for mine, so we get problems controlling illicit coltan mining. I mean, everybody, just like about everybody, they use coltan now, and then they use, mobile phones now, and things like mobile phones, and in some places you get coltan very, very useful. So the cost of coltan don't go up, but we get plenty minerals. Part of the problem is that in some cases where people they take license, for instance, take license for rutile, or take rutile. Then you go find out the other minerals there. So like rutile, you get zircon, you get ilmenite, they. Some people they take for iron ore, then they find out say gold they, but not to gold they been take license for. So they get them kind of problems. So that because of that, we find it difficult for negotiate sometimes with the mining companies. One of them mining policies they deal directly with that. But diamonds, rutile, bauxite, then they contribute quite significantly too.
Okay, Doctor.
Because like the the large-scale mining companies, then they're into diamonds, Oil Limited, then they're into rutile, Sierra Rutile, then they're into bauxite, Vimetco, small minerals, Sierra Minerals Limited, not the proper name for that.
All right, we will come discuss on that proper one. Make we talk about the three mineral sector policy where the government don't put together.
Mm-hmm. Well, if some of the themes of they run through, if you take like the relationship between mining communities and mining companies and governments, where they deal with that, each of them in various ways. The mining companies, the mineral policies, they deal with that. The first major policy document has been the Core Minerals Policy of 2003. But now, them policies here, they deal with all of the minerals where we know say they exist. Now, if you take the artisanal mining policy, like I've been saying, I've been the first. The relationship between the communities and the mining companies, nothing we're not of concern to government and me personally, because I come on a mining area. But one of the things we look at and we they try for push now how for repair environmental damage now the community suicide and the mine. We get what we call community development agreement, community development fund, diamond area development fund, we get all of these ones. Now, within the diamond area development fund, for instance, like it says, diamond area development fund, right now we get some money inside that we get for talk with the communities. We get a community relations department within the National Minerals Agency. Now, within the policies they do, like I say, and I foresee within the relationship, and within they do as a ministry, since I come in anyway, now for sometimes go outside within the minerals policies they actually do, because let we take like the relationship between Vimetco and the community suicide and the mine. Now then they pay money into this community development fund. What I find out since taking over is that most of the communities, they say, "Una give we the money," and when you give the money, plenty people in the community they complain say, "Now the chiefs they take the money, nothing they happen to, they filter down." So one of the things we me they push, and me don't they push, now foresee that, in fact, then funds here not only accounted for, they are used in a way where everybody they benefit.
So what you do for let
instance,
they happen? What you do for let they happen for the benefits for reach the community
well,
as
I
a whole?
find talk no more between the communities and the mining companies. So like Vimetco, so they may get this money. Then they operate now about 5 different chiefdoms. What we encourage them for do is let we get projects where we they peg to this money here. So like Vimetco now they build a 100-bed hospital, where they cost about $1.4 million. When I remember the Peace Diamond, then we put aside 1.5 million for development of the place beside this commot, beside this diamond commot. We now meet 1.5 million. But what you will meet, what you would only do now is if you go Koya the whole side this diamond commot, you will find out say we they build a health center, we've been in the agreement, we're not been to happen about that. We they build a 6-classroom school. I can challenge, well, not to even challenge. The last year, somebody from on a radio station go with we, then go tell you, say, the school they build, they are among one of the most modern of the country.
Apart from then challenging the way community people be known they talk about where this policy they can cover now, one other issue will be done they happen now the license where some mining company can go take during exploration, then say this then they can do. No sooner they don't begin work, now different thing than they do. What's in the policy they say this time?
Again, earlier where they talk, some of this is not always the case. If you get for take a look at the lease agreement between the company and government, like Mayor, within the spotlight right now, Mayor na a diamond mining company na Kono. Na exploration license then gets. But because of waiting and they do, a lot of community members when they think say they do right. But may I in fact get license? Like if you get exploration license, initially now for 4 years, but the community people not understand or no say this is not the case. So then will tell you say they don't mind for too long. But may I the license now from 2015. Okay, this is now 2019. So the license no expired. But for the community people, they don't know that this is the case. Then they talk say, this is what, from where they don't kind of mind no more than they mind, So we get the issues then they, one of the things we would try to do now community education. Let the communities know, say, this is what the agreement says between this mining company and government.
And issues them day back where these artisanal miners then can do, like they can go dig and aside them where they're not supposed for dig, and where they dig them can just left her, where can cause hazard or any kind of problem in a community. How this policy they work for make sure say their artisanal miners they also do the right thing and not just go and dig in an area them where at the end of the day they can just left and like that.
Illicit mining is a big problem. Like I say, me commonly a mining community, a very difficult for monitor we get large areas. But one of the things where we don't do for recruit about 200 what you would call mines compliance officers. So then they out, they watch waiting they go on at the various mining places. But even with that, you still find it difficult for control illicit mining. And the bit about damage to the environment. Again, you get EPA, when at the Environmental Protection Agency. We work with them. Now, we know they give mining license to anybody if the Environmental Protection Agency not say, "Una go ahead." when I give them the license. So we get then kind of relationships, ministerial, interdepartmental
You talk about the
relationships.
200 mining officers the one that don't put for the, the inspect and observe. You know feel say some of them like go they compromise the work when they do we can cause more of the issues they are so
we all don't live in a salon long enough for no say go always expect 100% success rate. So that's a possibility, and now one of the challenges that with the ministry get, how do you control that?
All right, continue further with me at the program where you listen to na Good Morning Salone, and it come to you live from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Now make we take another insert inside the program, another jingle inside the program.
Better don't come. A Union Trust Bank again. Union Salone Banco. Union Trust Bank get plenty product and service there for you. You must get what you want to go better. Let me savings account, ide. Current account, ide. Fixed deposit account, ide. Credit facility, ide. All for you. Me and you. Union Trust Bank, na Salone for me and you. Kids future savings account, ide. School fee savings account, ide. Pay advance salary scheme, ide. We branch and they all love but na Salone. Bokono kenema, we de. Kabala mabogo kakambia, we de. Jala Freetown loan sa, we de. And my 91, me and you. Union Trust Bank, me and you. Union Trust Bank, Union Trust Bank, na Salone for me and you. Union Salone Banco, Union Trust Banco.
Union Trust Bank, empowering Sierra Leonean businesses.
The program is still a listen to now. Good Morning Salone. They come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. We dey continue with the program Good Morning Salone, but we dey go now South Africa now. Outside the Pan-African Parliament, where na the legislative organ for the African Union, where they make law them for 52 member states them na the African Union and self-advised African country them. But how the AU then law them for the work na then country them. Well, every year the Pan-African Parliament they meet two them na South Africa for talk about different treaty them from the African Union. Yesterday, Monday, May 6. The Pan-African Parliament begin the second ordinary session for the 5th Parliament. Also, Radio Democracy, Khadija Bangrade for give updates on waiting they happen there. Good morning for Salone time. Nayasu Khadija, and welcome to the program.
Hello, good morning, Mabel.
Firstly, yesterday the session they don't start, but before we can talk about waiting
Mabel,
happen so far.
I know they clear.
Khadija, I dey say the session start yesterday, but before we go into wetin don happen so far, how the Pan-African Parliament enroll important to the African continent?
Thank you very much. Just like what you say earlier at the info, the Pan-African Parliament now one of AU organ them they for make legislation them and also provide advisory role to the African Union as to then law them, where then they make, how then law they are to go match to domestic law them of the 54 countries there, where the African Union and self the African Union don't they play a great role with the other African countries for CC various government and ratify the different protocol them where the African Union talk about and how the Pan-African Parliament on. So one main reason we make the AU being set up the Pan-African Parliament and for ensure say African people take part in decision making of the continent through the different representative them now the local parliament where they can send na the Pan-African Parliament. So that's one of the important role them to go on the well na the African continent.
The opening session yesterday, waiting at the commitments them where the country them where they don't take for ratify the AU protocol them na den country.
Of course, the opening session, just like all time, the Pan-African Parliament can call different African leader them from them president them, and also different speaker them from African Parliament them. Yesterday, we get the speaker of the Malawi Parliament, we been graced the occasion, and also it get speaker of the Gabon Parliament, we been there at the opening session. One of the main focus of this session, this second ordinary session, now the theme of the African Union for 2019 and then focus on when 2019, the year of refugees, returnees and internally displaced persons towards durable solution to force displaced Africa. So now the target of the African Union that for this year, for tap statelessness and tap the refugee people them according to them don't plenty in Africa, and Africa as a continent, not forget law them we for tap the citizen them for be refugee now African continent. So the two speaker them from the Malawi and Gabon Parliament make commitments to president then say then go work African Union for ensure say this team we then choose for 2019 then try for work together for reduce statelessness now Africa. But one main other issue we come up, we don't be challenged according to the different parliamentarian them from country that we talk. Now the issue of the Malabo Protocol, we country them not able to ratify it. And of course, Honorable Dr. Bernadette Lahai from Salone, when a former member of Parliament and the Pan-African Parliament, and I be one of the guests of honor the yesterday. It make mention say this now one of the greatest challenges where they affect laws them na Africa because country them not be able or not agree for sign or ratify the Malabo Protocol. We will give powers to the Pan-African Parliament for become independent legislative body and serve all African leaders accountable. But one good news about this Malabo Protocol, Salone don't ratify and Salone are signatory to this Malabo Protocol. We give Salone so much advantage for debate on issues them we get for with the AU protocol and the well of the Pan-African Parliament.
Apart from Honorable Bernadette Lahai, where you just mentioned now your statements, now other than the delegation from Salone to the South Africa.
Just like any other country, each African country they send 5 representatives. Now the Salone delegation, now the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Sengepo Solomon Thomas, and the leader of the delegation. You get Honorable Kande Kole Keller, we now the opposition leader for the National Grand Coalition. You get Honorable Bashiki from the Salone People's Party, you get Honorable Amadou Kanu from the All People's Congress, and you get Honorable Rosemary Bangura from the All People's Congress also. So 5 of them, they represent Salone at the Pan-African Parliament.
So now what's the expectation at the end of this session, especially when you go on for Linkham with the theme we then choose this year?
Well, for Salone, through the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Salone don't begin to handle the issues of statelessness. And Salone member of Parliament them no talk it because now by days when they allocate time for each country for debate and make their own commitment na the well of the Pan-African Parliament. So far from the country them we don't talk, you they see say they don't as earlier, year in year out, country representative and presidents they when they invite, they come to the Pan-African Parliament, they make commitments. But the Pan-African Parliament not able to work with a lawyer because up till now, just 12 countries them don't ratify the Malabo Protocol. 28 are still signatory to this particular protocol. So if they're not signing them, the Pan-African Parliament not they get the power for work or even all country they accountable. Say some of them law they are don't can make commitment for like African Union una supposed for implement and on country them. So if they're not able to get this ratification, most of their lawyer then just can make commitment. So from the president of the Pan-African Parliament statement yesterday, now in closing, he urged all the African countries them say we then go back, let them make sure so they lobby around and country them for let them ratify the Malabo Protocol. So the session still they go on, country then still they make them commitment them, and they expect Salone for talk this week.
All right, plenty. Thank you, Khadija Bangura. When Salone talk, we go get forget updates from you, but the commitment them where we representative them don't go make na South Africa. Well, that's not been Radio Democracy. Khadija Bangura be they give you updates on waiting they happen at the Pan African Parliament na South Africa. We hope say the weather they go to get you right until you return. The program Good Morning Salone they continue.
Take one part with headlines to read them. The chairman at the Office of Presidential Infrastructure Initiative na State House, Dr. John Timby, don't say by the end of next year, government will begin the projects for build the University of Salone and Technology. Nakono, Dr. John Timby talk this way some stakeholder them na State House, ECOWAS, Ministry of Education and Finance, and some chief them na Kono district. We go watch the land where government want use for build university na Kono. We reporter Wani Gauja gets more in Gonao reports.
The president Julius Maada Bio be make promise to people them na Kono district say it go build science and technology university for bring developments at that part of the country day. This be make stakeholder them na government be visit Kono district for fence site for this project and then be able to secure 417 acres of land where they plan for build this university. Wednesday, May 1st, stakeholder them from status, Minister of Education, and some worker then at the Ministry of Finance, with some chief them na Kono district, be go do visibility study as part of them plan for this university.
A very important project will take place in Kono. This is not the site of the proposed College University of Science and Technology, the Kono University of Science and Technology. Me na the President advisor, and also me na the President infrastructure expert. We're responsible for this year go build. And that make we count first for can see the site, second for begin for conceptualize how we go about for build this university here.
That's not the chairman at the Office of the Presidential Infrastructure Initiative na status, Dr. John Timby, as he continues say they don't begin this process for this project and don't collect some evidence them where them go give to ECOWAS so that ECOWAS go give them this couple where them be promised Salone people for this project.
The process is very simple. First and foremost, we dip on the concept level, we think about what we for do. And the second now, it can be seen at the house, we can do a feasibility study. We will give to ECOWAS, and make ECOWAS then say there, but then we'll get the money we want for this place here. We hope we will do them before September, so they can submit this report to the board of ECOWAS bank. Then we will get this, we secure the money for start this process. By the grace of God, we'll all then go through before the end of next year. Construction will begin.
Where it be the talk for sake of this project, Finda Koroma, na the Vice President na ECOWAS Commission.
We really late, but I get confidence in Dr. Timby. When the chairman of the Presidential Infrastructure Initiative, you don't assure me say on your own part then go down the feasibility study because that process. When somebody offer you money, they tell you say this na the due diligence. We get for check say una get the land, una don't register the land, una don't begin do the drawings, una don't cost. So all the things that they way Salone government get for do. So we don't confirm say the land available. The government don't confirm say yes. One of the project na this University of Science and Technology. So they go to the next step now for whether they can study for say if you they do how long it go take for make una pay back this loan because na loan. Even though na soft credits, government still get for payback I think over 25 years.
He also call on Kono people for cooperate with the government for push education for go before na the country.
So I want them forget about this diamond mining, teenage pregnancy, forget for just say, well, me na tap and not get money. Pick it, you wanna get for fen answer on a belle for make sure say education. The government they meet on a halfway. Successive governments in Sierra Leone don't put a focus on education. Free education na reality. So do ya the big one, especially the Bamade, for make sure say and the Papa there and we traditional rulers there for me they accompany the picking not only of Kono district because because this university, strategically located, you're able to cover Kono, Kailon, and Kenema districts as a regional university because we get long borders with Mandela and Naya, both sides, Tongofield, and then also Pengua chiefdom. So we believe students in Kievo come from all over.
The representative for the chiefdom, where he be the talk, he say, for long term now, Kono people and non they suffer for get good education na the country, where we make plenty for them picking them, we don't drop out of school. But say with this opportunity, plenty for them picking them, go put attention for book learning.
Most of the Pekin and they move from here, they go now areas they outside and get higher education for Medengoland. One in the strain, they not get feeding, they not get lodging, even transportation for move from here for go to the place then they find it difficult. And you get the university fees then go find it difficult because you get for pay for your accommodation, you get pay for your feeding, transportation, all that there plus the university fee now boarding to people there. But now that we get we university now, we just get for tell Pekin and say it is at home.
The Minister of Education, Professor Ea Pakima, be the part of these visibility studies and say it will continue for push for CC this construction of this university begin as soon as possible. For Radio Democracy, me Nawani Gauja.
GhanaSongs.org. They causing confusion.
But this confuse me, boo. Look where Uncle Nat in Wall Solid. Look in block them where them beat for them, where they save solid, and at the same amount of cement and sand then they use for beat me on. But look what in the happen. Me wall down for them, all the block they all don't scatter. It like say some kind magic they behind this. You want to know the magic behind this? Now the superior quality, extra strong, extra life and extra yield cement where are the use, and that's not Dangote 3X Portland limestone cement. Dangote cement na the highest grade cement in the country. When a 42.5 R grade cement, when a one day come na this country, and a one of the highest grade pan cement where you go get na the wall. Where you want your concrete, wall and block solid, use Dangote 42.5 R cement, you no go regret them. You go get Dangote 42.5 R cement na all the shop and building material store na the one whole country.
The program Good Morning Salone, they continue with a quickly look at one power headline story. Them outside Thursday, May 2nd, the APC member of parliament Zembewaka Komot Nado before President Biyo Bingi in state opening speech. Well, this make the Interreligious Council get one round table for talk about national cohesion. Osama lecturer at the Political Science Department at Frobe College, Emmanuel Gaima say for make the country get national cohesion, Parliament for pass the national cohesion law where it say go guide new government them, but how them for the takeover office from the administration where can they go out. Mange Mansari gets more on this and go reports.
Member of Parliament them na the APC party being waka comot na Parliament where the President Brigadier Julius Madabio go do state opening at the House of Parliament where this plenty people and organization them be raise concern but the country in peace and national cohesion. One panel organization they are na the Interreligious Council. This be make the Interreligious Council the all one round table consultation na the CCSL hall with member of parliament them na the different political party them na parliament but national cohesion. Reverend Dr. Usman Jesse Fona na the Secretary General for the Interreligious Council give the reason we make them only round table consultation with member of parliament them na the different political party them na parliament.
What happened in parliament is a clear demonstration for Sierra Leoneans about our non-political tolerance in this country. And I said to myself, this meeting is very timely. What do we want to achieve in this meeting today? We want to continue appealing to all of you to continue building on the sincerity of purpose that you all have in carrying out the affairs of this nation, especially the businesses of parliament. We also want to encourage you to see the need and value for social cohesion, including our political tolerance in Sierra Leone. At the end of this meeting, we want to see you championing our peace message and our social cohesion activities that we have embarked on, because you are key indeed. And finally, we want to see and feel political cohesion in the House of Parliament.
Reverend Dr. Usman Jesse Fona continues say where politicians then can in a public place can behave like say they're an enemy among themselves.
You politicians present to us as if you are enemies when you are on public forum, when you are on televisions and radios. But then when you meet among yourselves, you are the best friends ever on earth. And our conclusion is you are misleading us and you are misinforming us.
Emmanuel Gaima, na Chief Executive Officer na the Local Governance Forum, we same way so na lecturer na the Political Science Department for Abbey College, say the PPRC and the Electoral Act not sufficient for address political issue them. We make it say therefore develop code of ethics we go turn law we go able address with governance system na the country.
Encourage you guys that PRC Act is inadequate, the Electoral Act is inadequate. Push advocates for us to have a code of ethics for political parties that could eventually go into a law, so that political parties will move according to democratic tenets. I think Chief Banya or somebody here mentioned, for example, that you put into that law political parties that come to power in the first 48 months, they should not destabilize what is inherited. They should, unless there is a big risk to it. You put things there that will be binding on the political parties when they assume government. You put in there, for example, that I remember my final part in here will be on the issue of. I'm very pleased that people are aware that maybe it's been slightly being rushed. And I think, Reverend, if people can talk to Mr. President or the Chief Minister who is carrying this, the planning process, I think, is being rushed.
Emmanuel Gaima continues say, member of Parliament them for push for national transition law, we go show how government for take over power.
When a new party and a new government come, they do things their own way. I crave your indulgences. I pray you push for a national transition law. Transition in the sense, how do we take in and how do our colleagues phase out? How do we make sure that we take care of the positives of our predecessors and how do we work on improving on the weakness of our predecessors? Transition should not mean dismantling what was inherited. It means making it better. So let's legislate transition in this country. We need to have in this country, and we can push for legislation, what I want to call a National Ethics and Integrity Council of serious-minded Sierra Leoneans who will not be afraid of telling the President and the Speaker of the House of Parliament and the Chief Justice that you have had. These are people who don't want any job anymore.
After the roundtable consultation with member of Parliament them, I've been talked to the different member of Parliament them where be attend, but waiting and think but the national cohesion.
Honorable Abdul Titus Kamara of constituency 061 in the Cambia district, Mambolo to be specific, NGC. This particular program very timely because inside this country for now, the cohesion we need. And so if we get any kind of workshop there or any kind of training, it will really help we greatly.
In Honorable Brian Mansari of constituency 017 Kenema district, I can represent the SLPP. Well, a very timely and very important when we try for talk about national unity and cohesion. It's very, very important for the development and benefit of this country.
Mina Honorable Abdul Karim Kama, they represent the All People's Congress, na the constituency of and the Cambia district. Mina one post we always on the say the Internet Religious Council, the church and the mosques, now they do their role well. Now they lead to this degeneration we get in our society. So this are just part of demands as politicians for where we get people we as we call us moral guarantors to bring it together for all begin chart the way forward for a peaceful and a progressive Sierra Leone.
The member of Parliament them be end up say then go talk to them constituents them now the different constituency them for make them embrace national cohesion as na the way we go push this country in development go before. For Radio Democracy, Mange Mansari the report.
The program Good Morning Salone they continue and now we come over to the studio guest we are the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources, Dr. Morimanye, as Idena also for talk about the 3 mineral sector policy them where the government go pull na do just now, where they talk about the geodata management policy of Salone, the Sierra Leone minerals policy, the artisanal mining policy of Salone. Now make we Dr. Mobi talk about the geodata policy we una don't put together una go pull just now. But let me talk first how the country in geodata system day as we speak.
This now one of the best things we go don't happen to we in the mining sector. This geodata policy here. So what it mean none happen is that okay we get we geologists, we get we mining engineers and so on, but the data we then get no sufficient enough for let we talk with any authority to anybody, rarely where they come from. So, and whatever data we get for look at how we will protect them, how it will serve the best interest of the mining sector, the best interest of the country. Then kind and the policy they look at. Along the way, with support from the World Bank, we don't get funds where they allow we for undertake an airborne survey, so that this survey will tell we the kinds of minerals where we get, who side and there. And with that kind of information now, we were able to talk to people with some authority. Because over the years, this person will come doing a small survey, keeping information, they really share with government, share with we. Down they go doing a small bit. But with this survey, at the end of the survey, we expect this bigger business, the money at proper not being become available until December, January. But if the rate will go able to better than 2012, 2013. One of the problems we've been on the face, in fact, you remember the blood diamonds thing? The war caused accountability. I should say then there been to see some more guns now, social media. Then a part of the problem of no, in fact, it plague the industry right now. Will be
regulation. Now, one big challenge. Waiting this new policy gets for proper regulation. Now the mining sector. In name na Dr. Mori Manya and Imna, the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources. Now we they go and take daddy walkabouts.
Discuss with the Bianca. Because no say now. We the pepper that in a boku. Now the change and save. Bo. I told you not to talk to Babatunde. Nine and Wakaboto Jimmy. Ate Botunde lens have not be part of the problem, bo. Ate out the feel. Nine and Wakabo still don't understand. Now you know what in the works me. Now we anytime people want to talk then say out. Then have been going fight it. But Tunde still not locate then can not say Ate boom Tunde then think that you know what be part of the problem. Nine that tell what I walk, then tell you I will put them case and they that they don't lost Ricky. I say we are moved down. I say police no money. I say each other. Then say the will make you the court papers because your chief the bear back to you no more looking to pass. Why I show you retirement age or show me that you're not a walkabout.
Alright, from walkabout now we will go now inbox and take some message we on don't.
And from the message and there we come over to the Minister of Mines and Mineral Resources for response on a message. But quickly, this one says, as you are aware of misuse of our resources, what will
when we get in complaints of workers with the different mining companies, experts, don't say this bigger business. The whole policy thing now, World Bank, they fund them So waiting, I mean, like right now, advertisements they are out for experts. We go help we for write the new Mines and Minerals Act. Some of that they out of we hands because not so we get the money, the World Bank, but so that can affect the timeline. But we get national experts and we they advertise, World Bank they advertise, and hopefully when we do that, we do get the best people that we can able to afford. But they're down to entirely because World Bank gets a lot in that. The say person they ask about why like a diamonds or waiting with the sell to the world. The one about satisfaction, I not quite remember what this person say about
You say
satisfaction.
if you satisfied with the performance of the mining company, them na different districts.
We get challenges. I'm not gonna say as entirely, but we get challenges, and with challenges we then negotiate. For instance, mayor, we don't suspend any operations because the community complaint being the one or two things.
Them don't you plan